Hey guys, this is Lloyd from We Are Slack, and I'm here with Gaming Memoirs from YouTube.
Hi, how you doing? Uh,
All right, so today we're gonna discuss about an old video game that has been a big part of our childhood, which is Metal Arm's Glitch in the System. I remember as a little kid, when I first bought the game. Well, I actually didn't buy the game. My brother bought the game. He wasn't looking to buy the game at first. He wanted to buy this other game, but he ended up buying Metal Arms just by accident. He just wanted to play video games. And then he gave the game to me, and I'm like, what is this? I thought it would be a bad game, but as like when I first started playing it, I actually enjoyed it. I'm like, holy crap, this is a really good game. Like when I play the game, I like how the characters like you can like disarm them, like how their arms and legs would fall off, and how you can like tether into the enemies. I thought that was really cool.
Dismemberment was a nice feature. I have a similar memory. As a kid, you don't have a lot of money to buy lots of games constantly, right? You get like one game a year, maybe two if you're lucky on your birthday. I always used to research what I was looking for, right? Because I needed value and I needed something to do, right? So I came across Metal Arms, but at the time, Metal Arms was still fairly old, and I couldn't find it anywhere. One day I found it, bought it for like $20, and man, I played it so much. Like I loved it, adored it. I love the dismemberment. I love the guns and the upgrades because not only when you bought or found a gun and you used it, but it would you could buy new upgrades and suddenly the rocket launcher had more missiles and was stronger, and then they split and sprayed and destroyed and stuff. Lots of
For,
good stuff like that.
yeah, for me, Metal Arms was probably one of the best underrated games ever.
Oh, absolutely. When dealing with games at the because I keep in mind I played this on GameCube, right? Only system I had at the time. There is nothing in terms of like good third person shooters for GameCube, right? If you're playing on PlayStation, you've got your Ratchet and Clanks and stuff like that. And even to the degree on the Xbox, we had, oh my goodness, what was that game called? I want to call it Killer Instinct, but that was a fighting game, so let's scratch that one. The GameCube really had nothing else in like this on its system, so underrated, absolutely.
Yeah, and the destruction is probably probably the best part. And
Oh yeah.
another best aspect of the game are the characters. Like my favorite character would be Crunk, because like he's like he's like the most funny character. Like he's serious but funny at the same time, just by the way
He's
he
so much
talks.
random profanity.
I
It's like
know.
robot profanity, so like welding your ball bearings to your exhaust port and stuff like that. It's yeah, I love it.
Yo, I remember like back then when I used to play Common Arms a lot, I would try to imitate Crunk, even when I was in school. Like, oh my God, it was just so funny. I would try to be like him because he was that memorable as a character.
Yeah, it was. I love it, every bit of it. My favorite character was Slosh. When you find him in the Morbot, like the ruins or the old Morbot city, and I had no idea what the hell he was saying because he talks so bloody quickly,
I
but
know.
it's all very methodical. I don't know. He just goes and prattles off lots of words really quickly. Plus, you get to play as him, which is totally cool because he's all fire, right?
I know.
He's got
Yeah.
his flamethrower and his Molotovs. Oh, love it. I
Yeah.
love every bit of it.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
yes.
I miss Metal
So,
Arms.
for those who don't know, who haven't watched the videos, right? Metal Arms was a third-person shooter. I should say a third-person shooter platforming game that was on all the GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox, so all the systems at the time. Actually, I'm sorry, I didn't believe I introduced myself. I'm Trevor, Gaming Memoirs. I did a playthrough. I was asked by Lloyd to guest comment on this. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
I
just
covered.
asked him because Metal Arms is. I haven't really seen anyone out there who like actually did like full Metal Arms walkthroughs and actually discuss a lot about it. So then, I was just randomly searching through YouTube about Metal Arms, and then I just found Memoirs, and I'm like, holy crap! Like his channel is cool. I like what he does. So I was like, oh, I should make a Metal Arms commentary with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I have a lot of fond memories of Metal Arms, especially you mentioned dismemberment at the time, right? I had nothing at the time. I didn't know anyone else who had done that. Like I didn't know anyone who let you shoot a guy's arm off and his gun would flip out, and if he shot, his gun couldn't hit you because it was pointing at the floor or at the sky or something, right?
Yeah.
Or you could cripple their legs and they couldn't chase after you. I love that. I thought it was cool. Granted, now we have Dead Space, but Keep in mind how far along Dead Space came, like after Metal Arms.
Yeah.
Maybe getting some little, maybe a little influence there. Just saying, maybe.
Who knows? It's possible. It's possible. So
So for anyone, go
yeah.
ahead, please.
Oh no, you continue.
Okay. So for anyone who played Metal Arms, they know that the game ends on it ends on a very high note. It's a very I hate the word epic, but it's a very epic scale, right? Lots going on, and it's this big conclusion, right? Everything is finished, but it leaves you wanting more. With the cliffhanger ending, you only wonder, hey, what happened if this or that or whatnot, right? I'm
Yeah.
not gonna. I guess I could spoil it because I did the playthrough, but there's they leave you with the cliffhanger ending, and
Yeah.
there was never a sequel to be heard of.
That was pretty sad though. But
Yeah,
let's say if Metal Arms actually had online multiplayer, imagine how much of a hit the game would be if that actually happened.
agreed. I think maybe the of course the game flew under the radar of a lot of people, but I think with the online at the time, because online was something online was amazing at that day and time, because even the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, they had the capability, but really it wasn't anything special, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
whenever I would wanted to play multiplayer, I would have to invite friends over my house, or I would have to bring my GameCube over someone else's houses and play Metal Arms.
It's funny because we just did the "Let's not play with yourself" video, and
Uh,
like that's all the video is. It's us just getting really ticked off because there's no split screen anymore in video games.
I know.
Like we want this, but now at the time, if there was an online multiplayer, it was amazing because you could play with your friends anywhere, but it didn't exist, especially not on GameCube, right? There
Yeah,
was a GameCube online feature, but it wasn't well implemented.
yeah,
Yeah.
not that great.
Maybe if it had an online mode, or maybe it had online play. Actually, I don't know about this. Did Metal Arms ever have it on PlayStation or Xbox? Do you know that?
Metal Arms is glitching. Yeah, yeah, it was in the GameCube and Xbox. Yeah,
I don't know if it had the Xbox, because Xbox had Xbox Live, but I don't think it ever had the like online servers or anything like
yeah. I
that.
don't think it had the online servers. You could only do
Yeah,
like four-player split screen, and that was pretty much it.
yeah. Granted, the multiplayer was good too. Lots of levels, lots of cool guns. You could play like you could possess dudes. They
Yeah.
had like EMPs, vehicles, like all that cool stuff. Yeah. Oh, there was even secrets in levels. I mean, to this day, I found out in what is the level? In the Morbot, I think it's a Morbot City or something like that. If you hit a specific jump pad, you can actually find one of those big like predator things with the four arms and the nukes just hidden away.
I've never even heard of it. I've never even known that before.
It's cool stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe if it had the online, maybe it would have gotten a little more love, right?
Yeah,
At least
that's very
public
true.
opinion.
And then I remember how just for multiplayer you would have to find secret trips just to unlock the multiplayer levels.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think that was like one of the best things about the game because then you would have to play story mode again and just to find the secret trips. But I enjoyed playing online because it's so damn fun.
Oh yeah, replay value. Oh, love it. Love the idea that you have to, find these little hidden gems, and they weren't just lazily scattered around. They were like
Yeah,
in boxes and on skylights and stuff. You had to figure out how to get them.
that's true.
Uh, and there's one level when you're going through the city, you have to shoot down like a train like car thing, and it falls, and the secret trips on top,
Oh
like on top of it.
yeah, I remember
See,
that.
that's awesome. That's great. And then you get to play more multiplayer. But if you had that online, that was the thing. If it was today, you can bet you'd have probably about 5 online levels, and you'd have to pay to unlock more, as opposed to in-game content.
Yeah.
Mm.
So about that sequel.
Sequel, yes, cliffhanger ending, no closure.
Yeah, I mean like in the end of the end of the very last level, you see Dr. Exval in his ship saying, "Oh, I'm not done with you yet, Glitch." I mean, when I watch, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, what's gonna happen next?" I mean, like, I can't wait for the next game. A few years later, the game still doesn't come out, and I'm pissed.
No word on a sequel, no nothing. And as a kid, you assume like you have to, you just have to know that it's coming out. The game teased it, so when does it come? Like it's got to be soon, right?
I know, like Metal Arms is still like in my mind, and it's still there. I'm still thinking to myself, "Damn, when is there gonna be a sequel?"
insanely popular. I guess in this day and time, there's always hope, but it's something you would have expected like way back then, and something if it was to come out now, I don't know if I would appreciate it like I did before. I
Well,
don't know. I would still love. I would buy like 4 copies. I'd buy it for everyone I knew.
I know,
But
yeah. I would totally do the same.
absolutely. As for a sequel, I mean, as it's like to this day, I naturally assume that the sequel would have covered some sort of Exavolt. Clearly, he has some kind of plan.
Yeah.
We assume if he has, especially because he says, "I'm not done with you yet," means he's got something in the wings and he's going to bring it to you. So
Yeah.
the droids now own the planet, right? They've pushed the mills out. Corrosive is dead, so we can naturally assume now that whatever Exavolt has coming
Hmm.
is going to, be the downfall to the droids,
Yeah. And
which I
the
never understood
and
because
the
Exavolt
like
is a
yeah.
droid.
And
Sorry, go on.
the other interesting thing is like I'm pretty sure that this is like 100% true and obvious that like Glitch is obviously a Moorbot because you can see the sign on his head, the logo or whatever
Exactly.
you call it.
Yeah, it's the same as those artifacts that you find out that make you faster.
Yeah, so maybe if there was a sequel, maybe the next game would have explained everything that we questioned in the last game.
Absolutely. In one of the playthroughs I did, I don't recall which episode. Um, Supposedly, because again, the internet's full of trolls. You never know who anyone else is, but it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of faith. A man came on and said he thanked me for the playthrough. He says it's clean, and I can let my kids watch it, and I don't have to worry too much. I know I drop a swear or two in there somewhere, but I asked him, I thanked him and whatnot. He said when I was working on the game, I really, warms my heart to see that people are still playing it and enjoying it. And I said, well, you worked on the game, and he said, well, yes, my name is this. I held this position in, again, I'm just going to call it Swinging Ape Studios because I don't really recall. And I was on the development team for Metal Arms Glitch in the system. So I took that to my advantage and I started talking to him. Now, again, I'm not sure if it was him or not, because I mean, I could tell you I was the developer for StarCraft 1, but it wouldn't make it true. We ended up discussing this, and he tells me that there was plans for 2 sequels. It was going to be a trilogy of Metal Arms games, and they were going to answer the questions that they brought up in the first game. For instance, what happened to the Morbots? What does Glitch have to do with them? What's going to happen to Exavolt? There was going to be a new threat. The Zombots were going to come back in a big way. More weapons, more upgrades, all your favorite characters, Crunked, Slosh,
Yeah.
I believe even Corrosive was going to come back at some point and play some role. Grant he's dead, but maybe they would have brought back, I don't know, a piece of him or maybe his body or something, right? You never
It's
know.
it's like a Megatron turning into Galvatron moment, something like that.
Exactly, yeah. Galvatron. That's an old reference. No, I think it's hilarious how fast he kills Starscream, but um, yeah, he goes on to explain that the reason there was never a sequel was because the studio who made Metal Arms was bought up, and Lloyd tells me, I don't know if that's what you actually call yourself in YouTube videos, I apologize.
Yeah, I call myself Lord. Like so, like
Oh,
apparently I did some research and like some people tell me this that Swinging Ape Studios was bought by Blizzard Entertainment, and from there on, they said that the others were saying that the sequels were canceled, and that was pretty disappointing. But I still have my hopes up. I'm still waiting for a game.
you
But
never know.
yeah, maybe if someone were to like, mail or tell Blizzard Entertainment what happened to Metal Arms, maybe they might take that into consideration and say if we make Metal Arms aware to more people, maybe it's possible that there could be a Metal Arms too.
Or even revitalization of a trilogy.
Yeah.
Actually, recently I came across a 2009, what do you call those things? You
Well,
sign your name on it.
oh, petitions.
Oh, petition. Thank you. I've had a 2009 petition that was sent to Blizzard with like I think it was 100,000 names on it for Metal Arms 2 development. So
Oh,
you never know, man. These companies are always looking for their revitalizations of the series, right? I mean,
yeah.
to this day, we still see Tomb Raider sequels and remakes of old games, right? You
Yeah.
never know what could happen. Yeah, I feel like I was going to bring something up about this actually. Yeah, Lloyd mentions that Blizzard bought out Swinging Ape Studios and closed the company, and that's why you never saw the sequel. Then the closeout for this discussion with this developer, he ends up telling me that the developing team, they ended up splitting up, and he ended up with a small company. He gave me the name of it too. I don't recall. They make arcade games like for like Ruckers, and I don't know what you guys call it down there. Canada, it's Ruckers. They're arcades where you win tickets and you can trade them in for prizes.
Mm.
Anyway, that's our arcades. So he swapped over to a company that makes arcade games. They say they've never given up hope for a Metal Arms sequel, and we may see it in the future. You never know, but
Yeah.
we can only dream. We can only hope for that.
That's the only thing we can actually do for now.
Exactly. Well, as you know, gamers, we really have very little power. We just buy the products and we play them. Recently, we had the Mass Effect 3. Now, I'm not a Mass Effect fan. I think it's actually kind of appalling that they can do this, but the fans sent BioWare that big, complaint thing, and
About the
we're
ending and
suing
stuff.
them. Yeah. Oh boy. And they got BioWare to change the ending of their game. What?
Oh my gosh.
Dude, if I wrote that, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, "Oh, well, screw you too, man. I wrote the bloody thing. You work for me." Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
At least they listen to the fans. That's the best part of the gaming community.
Yeah. I honestly always hoped that the Metal Arm series kind of had the following that the Ratchet series got, because they're roughly the same game, same premise at least.
Well, I mean, I
Collecting
guess, yeah.
shooters, upgrading weapons. Granted, Ratchet got more love, and it got a whole like it didn't even just get like story like sequels. It got like a whole lore behind it.
Mm,
There was people, there was things, there was all of this. Everything just kind of fell together with this, and it worked really well.
yeah. So,
Uh,
yeah, I hope you enjoyed this commentary, guys. You can leave comments down below saying, sharing memories well, I was about to say Comet Arms. I mean, like leave comments about your memories about Metal Arms. Saying what you think should be in the next sequel. Just say you want a sequel, to be coming. Just drop down anything about Metal Arms related. It
I'd
would be
like to
pretty.
hear, especially in the comments. I'm sorry. I'd like to hear more about what kind of game elements would you have liked to seen in the sequel, right? Because as the viewers, I guess the people who are listening, what kind of things would you like in the Metal Arms sequel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for having me, Lloyd. I appreciate that.
No problem. No problem.
This is Trevor of Gaming Memoirs.
And this is Lloyd from We Are Slack, and we'll see you later.
Thanks for watching.